Hey, what's up, guys? So I want to make a tier list for Zenless Zone Zero this time, and we only have a few characters as you see here. But what this tier list is gonna be is it's gonna be a tier list on the characters with the highest utility. So this is kind of also like a guide for what characters you should be building. That will help you clear some content after getting to critical node and getting through a lot of the other nodes in Shiyu defense. I feel like I'm able to figure out which characters are very high in utility. So let's get into it. Of course, a lot of these characters I do have, and some which were recent I don't. So let's start with Nicole. Nicole is a buffer, so I do believe any characters that help buff are really good and high utility. Since Nicole is a ether character, there's not many ether characters other than Zhu. So you do need to build Nicole. She's gonna be very high utility for anyone who pulled Zhu, and anyone who wants to build at least an ether character to clear some content that has enemies with ether resistance. So I would say Nicole is high utility. Anby, she is high utility for my account. I think we do have a lot of other stun characters, but if you weren't able to get any of the limited stun characters like Yi, for example, you're pretty much only stuck with Anby for now as an electric stun character. So I do believe she is considered very high utility, especially on my account. She's definitely high utility because my Nekomata team does need a stunner. So I think that's why you might find value in her, especially if you don't have any of the other stunners. So I'm gonna focus on stunners right now. Colita, I don't have Colita, but I know she's a pyro stunner. I'm gonna put her in A for utility because I feel like we have a few other stunners like, Anby, that's free and you could get more constellations to increase her output. Chances are you probably don't have Colita because she's a standard character. So she's not really a must-have. This is about high utility characters that you must build to at least clear some content. Especially with Colita, I don't believe, since we got a few pyro characters released like Bernice, and we do have, let's say, Soldier 11, she is very important, but I wouldn't say she's super important to build right now because like Anby could definitely be a stunner for your what's her name, for your Soldier 11. So the other characters, there's another stunner. Let's go with Yi. So I do believe Yi is up here. She's a lot better than Anby at stunning, but since she's a limited character, most people probably have her more than Colita because she was a featured character. So if you saved up enough, most people should have gotten her if they needed her. Especially if you saved up enough and you won your 50-50 or had guarantee. But she also provides extra damage. So once she stuns an enemy, there's a multiplier under that enemy, and Yi provides extra multiplier damage for stunned enemies over Anby. So that's why Yi is definitely a must pull and a very high utility character. Let's go with Billy. I don't believe he's really good right now. I'm gonna put him at D. He's a physical attacker, I think. Yeah, I don't believe he's really good. I think for your attacker characters, you do need a stunner, but even with a stunner, I don't see him doing much damage. Nekomata, in terms of utility, I would say she's an attacker, so you do need a damage dealer. I would put B because you don't need to build her. She's only good in one team, and that's the Nekomata team, obviously. and I use Ambi in my Nekomata team. But the thing with Nekomata is she's an attack dealer, and you want to build characters right now that can be useful in multiple team comps, like when you get featured new characters. So I don't think she would be very as high utility as stunners are currently. And that leaves us with Lycon, of course. I do believe he's a good stunner. If you have Ellen, then I would say probably he's S, that you should focus on him more. So the higher these characters are, the more you should focus on them, I believe. So Lycon is a stunner, which is useful. Cryo also. Ice. So you should focus on stunners in this case. Of course, you should focus on characters that deal a lot of damage also, and Nekomata just doesn't deal that much damage. She can, but I do have her built, and I need to build her a little bit more, but she can deal a lot of damage, and Nekomata is my second team, so now you have Soldier 11. I don't have her, but from what I've seen before any of the limited characters release, I think she was the best attack dealer out there. But of course, since we got more limited, I'm sure someone has better attack characters or even better damage dealing characters than these two. So if you have them and she's like your only a damage dealer other than a limited character and you need an extra team, then I would move her utility up for you. But if I were to get her on my account, I would say she would be, yeah, around this focus, because I do have Nekomata as an attack dealer and I have Jane Doe as an attack dealer. And I do believe anomaly characters are just very important in this meta right now. Anomaly does a lot of damage, especially Assault, which is the highest damage dealer in the game. If you ever pull Jane Doe, then I do believe that makes her a very high utility character because she works with anyone. If you put anyone on her team, wow, she'll be really good. I think you need to focus on supports also. But let me go back to, is there another stun character here that I believe I might be missing? No, I don't think so. So I know that Ellen was really strong when she first released, but in terms of like utility and need for build, if you need a cryo character or another element, I would put her here. This isn't a tier list on who's the strongest or who's the best. This is a tier list on if you're new to the game or if you're mid-level so far and you have a few of these characters, who should you focus on building? And Ellen, she's around A rank, but if you haven't built Nicole or Anne B, definitely get on those two. They're slept on, and I do believe they help you clear content, especially if you don't have a stunner like Chingy. These two are very important to focus on. If you have Chingy, focus on her first. But if you don't, then yeah, Nicole and Anne B definitely focus on. I want to get into supports though. There's Lucy and then there's Rena, but let's go to Lucy. She provides an attack buff. She's a fire support. She provides an attack buff. I think any buffs you can have on your team is good. I would put her A rank because her attack buff is a short duration, but you can replenish the buff easily. But yeah, I think another support that's really good that you should focus on is Rena. She provides a pen ratio buff which ignores enemies' defenses, so I think that's really good. She's not really a high investment character that you need to invest too heavily in to make her good, and she's only on field for a little bit of the time. I do believe her pen ratio buff is really good and strong. And I have her built for my Nekomata and Anbi team, so it's Anbi, Rena, and Nekomata. And I would definitely, if you have all three of these characters, focus on those three, of course. But you need a stunner, highly, highly need a stunner on that team. That way the enemy doesn't just steamroll Nekomata and Rina. Um, I don't, I haven't built Sokaku. I think she might be a support. Of course, you need the stunner and Ellen, the attack dealer. But a support, does she have high utility? I think she provides a buff specifically to cryo dealer damage dealers. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. I haven't looked into Sokaku much, but she's definitely a buffer for Ellen, and then use Lycon on the team. But she has good utility. I do believe having a good damage dealer though is much higher utility, and a good stunner is even higher utility than that on that team specifically. Of course, Bernice, I don't know why they have this type of picture for her, but Bernice, Anomaly characters, I think Anomaly is really good in this meta right now, or the state of the game, because you can just, if you have enough Anomaly build-up rate, Anomaly proficiency, Anomaly mastery, you can then increase the burn-in and assault that you do, and the disorder. I'm doing like 200,000 disorder with Bernice and Jane Doe, which is good. And since Anomaly is very important right now, I do believe Seth is a character that has very high utility, because he allows the enemy Anomaly build up resistance to decrease, allowing your characters to hit that Anomaly proc much faster. So Seth is really, really important for that. Ben, he's a shielder character. Oh, I said Seth was a shielder also. I think Ben is a shielder character. Fire maybe, or physical, I don't know, but I played him once. He's very slow. And in those game modes where you're against the time, against the clock, I don't believe Ben is very important to build right now. Grace, she's probably better than Ben and you know, this dude. I forgot his name. I said it earlier, but Grace is better than both of those, I think. But Grace, I think she's Anomaly, Electric Anomaly. And I did say Anomaly characters do good, but I don't know the utility of Electric Anomaly. It stuns enemies, causes them to take a little bit of tick damage. I'm not sure. It could help with build up, but when you have Bernice, who builds up that fire anomaly much faster, I think that's a higher priority. But definitely Anomaly. I think I'll put her up a little bit actually, because Anomaly really is important in this right now. Anton. Okay, so that was Billy. Anton. He's really good. He's an electric attack dealer. I don't know the utility of A rank attack dealers right now. I like his gameplay though. I really like him, and I do want to build him next. But I don't believe that he's that important right now. Juyuan, if you have her, you have her, of course. You need her with Nicole. But for an attacker, I think she fits in perfectly here. You don't have to pull for her. You don't have to save up. She's not a must-have, because you can have any other of the attackers on here, or damage dealers. But Anomaly damage dealers, I do believe, are much better currently. Caesar, her shield, very high utility for those modes where people take a lot of damage and you don't want your character to die. I think she's easy mode for Zenless Zone 0, kind of like how Zhongli was early on. But of course, if someone comes around and has a better shield, then that would power creep her a little bit. But she's kind of like the Zhongli of Zenless Zone 0 right now. Corin, She's a physical attacker, I think. So I'm not even sure. I'm not sure about Corin really. Piper, I would put her. She's an anomaly. Physical. She could work good with Jane Doe to proc those assaults much faster. So I'll put her in the B tier for right now. And these other characters, Belle and Weiss, they're the main characters that don't have gameplay. And then these other characters haven't come out yet. So yeah, this is my tier list for right now. I do believe this tier list shows off the characters that have highest utility right now in the game. Um, I don't know. Some people might consider Anby should be lower since we have Chingy now, but I'm keeping her up here because not everyone has Chingy, obviously, because she's a limited character. And Nicole is the only character in this game that does what she does. So, she's a support for Ether, so you definitely need her. And yeah, if you like this tier list, leave a like. If you learned something and now you know who you should focus on, leave a like, comment, go watch my other videos on my channel, and then subscribe, obviously. And thanks for watching.